Yeah. Good morning, Anshu. After a long time, it seems.
Yeah,
How
actually,
are you
I'm
doing?
not feeling these days. I have cold, a little feverish.
Good. So resting.
Yeah,
Resting. Yeah. Good because
yeah,
the extra
I know,
toxin
I
is
know.
coming out. No?
Yeah,
These
right.
are the opportunities.
Yeah,
So you're resting, fasting,
yeah.
relaxing.
Not fasting, but eating only light food like fruits and all.
Light food means papad.
Fruits.
Light in weight.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, Deepa, I saw your interview. Very interesting. That guy called me up also, asking for a time.
Yeah, I was going to suggest as well, like your name.
I think Renuka gave her the number.
Same. Yeah, it was interesting to have like new ऐसा जाना नहीं था ना, like we didn't know each other,
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
it was interesting to just enter that space not knowing each other and then just taking it
Blind
from
date.
there.
Blind date kind
Blind
of.
date.
I'm yet to watch that recording. Yeah.
Yeah. Shilpi and Rashi, how are you doing?
What is this? Where is this?
Oh,
It's on
so
YouTube.
there
I think
is.
Deepa shared on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
haven't
There's
seen
a
them.
conversation
Yeah.
between Deepa and one gentleman called Bunty.
Okay.
I think Binal also had some
Binal
time back.
also had. Rupesh
And
also had.
Rupesh
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
It's
Okay.
open
I have not.
basically. Like he does, it's a
For
series
everyone.
where
Yeah.
anyone can kind of
Vulnerable
have a
Me. The series he
Wow.
named as Vulnerable Me.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody
Interesting.
joined today's session with the name of Akshara, then dropped out. I don't know. Akshara, maybe Nandini? Nandini's daughter's name, Akshara or not?
No, it's my daughter's name actually.
Oh, okay. So you joined with that name, then again.
Yeah, because she was logged in before,
Ah.
yeah. So I didn't know that it was on her name.
So how
Yeah,
are the
it's
things?
nice to see you all after so long.
Yes, Nandini is also joining. Binal will not be able to join. She just came back from the vacation, it seems. So this third module, how the things going on? Are you able to get something? Any doubt whatsoever you have gone through? So far, what we have tried to understand or explore is the Google Workspace and Zoom live sessions and the
Hello, Arav.
Hi, Ara. Where is Ara?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. He just woke up, so I thought I'm on mute. Yeah. Yeah.
Google Workspace and Zoom live meeting and the recording upload to the YouTube. These all things we covered so far. In that, few of the features of Zoom we have covered. So do you guys have any question or any concern or any additional thing that you would like to share for the group? Maybe those who are acquainted with these applications, Google Workspace and Zoom. For example, Rashi uses this frequently. Maybe Deepa also uses. I'm not sure whether you are using it
Yeah.
day-to-day basis or not. Yeah, Rashi.
Yeah, I think you have pretty much covered a lot of it. And I mean, there is no end to actually exploring into these apps, to be very frank.
Yes.
So, but whatever we require, I think for the session is all covered. And yeah, nothing much to add. I just wanted to share, my so current so currently I am on water fast since yesterday
Okay.
and also thinking of continuing with water fast. So I don't have fever or anything. But I was just listening to my body. So I have like this mm, like pain in the throat and I couldn't swallow things.
Okay.
But there is no fever, nothing else happening, just that
Yeah.
pain
I
in
I
the
was about to
throat.
ask you that what is the bodily indication due to which you are doing?
Yes, yes. So that was the body indication. And so for first 2 days, I was just on like fruits and soups, but still, it didn't go. I mean,
Hmm.
it was getting okay, but I didn't see that, there is a significant decrease in fact, it was getting more like swollen up.
Hmm.
So I felt like, okay, even so I kind of, noticed that once I'm eating the fruits,
Hmm.
the pain is increasing after half an hour or so. And the same happened even after soup.
Hmm.
So then I thought, okay, now I have to shut down everything, just go on water. And I mean, it is now amazing. So now the pain is reduced so much. And also the size is really gone very,
Hmm.
very low. So I mean, it was so beautiful to see how a body, kind of
Yes.
talks to you. And yeah, it's the real voice of, organism that I experienced.
Yes.
And everyone at home is like, how will you survive with water? I'm like, my body is not allowing me to eat anything.
Yes.
So I have to be on water. There is no other option. And so my mother-in-law was asking, so are you not feeling hungry? I'm like, of course, if I think of food, I will be hungry, but my body is not letting me eat, and this pain is dominant. It's a priority, right? Like to
Hmm.
heal.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yes.
so it is taking a back seat. That food is taking a back seat over my pain. So today, I mean, it's better, but I just thought maybe one more day of, maybe I can just be on coconut water at the max if I have to have anything extra other than water. But
Yes.
everything else, I think my body will not be able to, or I don't want it to get worse. So maybe another day of water fast. Yeah, I will
Yes.
observe
Yes.
today
Yes.
also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful sharing. So on pain, actually, I'd like to share some observation. When pain basically is a discomfort, like we get confused with the pain and suffering also at times. But let's try and understand under the light of discomfort. Experientially, it is basically a discomfort that we sense in our body. Physiologic mainly, the pain is a sensation which happens in the physiologic, the chemical domain of the body. So, the trigger of the pain could be physical, could be physiological, could be psychological. Let's try and understand these three things. So, trigger of the pain could be physical. Physical means from outside, a pin is pricking, suppose. So, an insect is biting. So, that's a physical reason to sense the discomfort. Now, the physiological reason is always toxemia, which is also a biting, insect biting, or a pin pricking, but which is coming from within and which is due to my own uh, knowingly, unknowingly mismanagement of energy, due to which the proper detoxification did not occur, which is coming from within. And from psychological domain, it is that perception converted into the sensation. So now if we identify that if it is sourced from the physical side, the discomfort is sourced from the physical side, then actually it's absolutely nothing to do, because we are equipped to respond. Like no planning is needed. When insect is biting, I cannot decide a strategy before the biting. The moment it is biting, I'm crafted to respond. I'm crafted to respond and sway the source of the pain physically. It's very easy, and for that, actually, you need to invest some energy to sway the insect. You need to invest some energy, and which will come, which will emerge out of it. Now, if it is from physiology, like what Rashi is experiencing right now, what I am personally experiencing right now, as far as my feet pain is concerned, I'll share my experience, further experience, and the progression of it. So, if it is occurring from inside, then definitely something is trying to come out structurally, programmatically, and for which it needs energy, because without energy, that thing is not going to come out. So there has to be a special elimination, special detoxification, if the pain is triggered from within, and for which a lot of energy is needed, and for which the body indicates conservation of energy, extra special conservation of energy. So hunger goes off, or limitation, like the throat pain is definitely, throat pain or any excruciating pain will actually deviate you from the food, which will not allow you to focus on the food. The pain is so much. So that means it is a bodily indication of not eating. And not eating is conservation. So primarily at the physiological level, either body works towards detoxification or digestion, the catabolism and the anabolism. Detoxification, catabolism, and digestion, assimilation, the anabolism. So body works in these two paradigms. So if we are not giving digestive load, then definitely the detoxification will be focused, predominant. So that's very wise for Rashi to go for fasting in this kind of condition. And definitely with water, because for detoxification, water is very much needful substance. Without water, there is a dehydration within the body and detoxification is hampered. Water is very much needed.
Yeah, I also felt like when I was drinking water, I was getting a bit of soothing sensation within. So I was observing my body very, very closely. And that's how I could figure out that just by having like even just juice of mango was actually hurting after some time. So I was like shocked, like how can a fruit also be rejected by body? And this was the first experience of the real voice, and I was just going with it.
And the third one, we know already, we discussed primarily that thing only, that if it is coming from your perception, no physical reason that you are able to identify, but you have a discomfort, then you need to go within and inquire the root cause. It is out of imagination, and somewhere it is a conclusion that we are making in the mind. And yesterday we had a beautiful conversation about the relationship, the exclusive relationship and the exclusivity of the relationship. Are you able to comprehend the difference between these two things? Exclusive relationship and exclusivity of a relationship. Are you all interested to go in this, or some other topic should we go on?
I have one question, Kalyan.
Yes,
So
yes.
psychologically, one can experience discomfort, which is fine. But can one also feel like real pain, like some bodily part, because of just the psychological reason? Is it possible?
See, ultimately, if it is a real pain, then definitely it comes in that direction only, innervation to toxemia. If it is a real pain,
Okay.
one is sensing, that means it is converted into a physiological trigger.
Okay, but it
psycho-
can come from psychological domain.
Yes, yes.
Like
yes.
yeah, trigger can be from the
Yes,
psychological domain.
yes, yes. Trigger. Because see,
Okay.
the psychological domain, when we start getting a sensation out of a perception, then it's basically it's a repeating knack that we are developing within ourselves. Like if we are in denial, suppose I'll come to that example of exclusivity of a relationship. So if we are in denial that I am creating this thing out of my imagination, suppose you are missing someone psychologically, that's the exclusivity of relationship, we understand that. But you are missing means you are not in the physical proximity, but you are missing that individual. That means it is being created in your idea, because there is no physical reason. It is all in the mind, and you are finding a discomfort within. So when we look at under the lenses of personal experience, then most of the time we are biased. But when we try and understand this thing in general, then we understand that yes, it is a creation of imagination. It is the sensation, the pain, that whatsoever the pain. It could be your lover, it could be your mother, it could be your child. But if in absence of that individual, if you are sensing a pain or a sensation, whatever, excitement or pain, it is coming out of imagination. Are you on the same page? In general, we are trying to understand that if.
So is it like in general, missing anything is imaginary?
Yes, isn't it? Like the
Yes.
presence of that that substance is not there in front of you, so there is no physical trigger.
Yeah.
So that means the discomfort or whatever the sensation may be, excitement also could be one.
So is it that we feel that psychological discomfort, and like psychologically we are trying to suppress some emotion or some sensation, and then innervation happens, and then that can lead to physiological pain? That's what you're saying.
Obviously, because innervation leads to reduction of the detoxification, which is a 24/7 work body does. Detoxification is a 24/7 thing, but it is getting compromised because of the energy being depleted, because it needs energy. Detoxification needs energy. So that may evolve into a toxic accumulation. That's for sure.
Okay. But I have also experienced certain times that like in past that when I am in stress, so sometimes that stress, if it goes longer,
Psychologically.
yes, psychologically. So if it extends for some certain period of time, then I experience that a lot of such times I have cold or cough. So it actually induces detoxification.
Yes, yes. So stress, definitely, it's a clear-cut innervation to toxemia.
Okay, and then detox starts happening. So that's the,
yeah, it's a complex cycle that happens within, that detoxification. When it is so there is always a unique limit for everyone to hold the toxin for everyone's body. It's not a general holding capability. So that thing is very uniquely orchestrated. Like when you have more than the toxin that you can hold, the body will compel you to take rest so that the energy is conserved, and that conserved energy can be used for the detoxification, because body is not able to hold anymore. That's why a cancer patient who is on deathbed, that time also he raises many time fever, because it's a like seemingly that individual doesn't have any energy, but then also the body draws energy from somewhere within the body and raises the temperature. It's a last endeavor kind of thing for the body to detox. Just due to our misunderstanding and considering fever as a disease and to be fought for and all those things, we keep on suppressing it. But it's the body's endeavor to raise the voice and come out of the toxic state.
Mm.
Okay, I always thought that you need certain energy within to initiate this process, and if you are under high stress, your body will never, uh, start this
Yeah, mostly it
detoxification.
happens that way. It's a chronic state that you are talking about.
Yeah.
But if the body is not able to hold the load of toxin which is there at that current moment, then body will
Okay.
compel you to conserve. And that's how
Hmm.
the healing crisis is triggered, even if there is
So,
no seemingly
okay.
conserved vitality.
So here, can we say that the physiology is taking over the mind or the psychological domain?
So the
When you say
situation is
that the
taken
body is
over.
not
The
able to,
situation is taken over by the physiology. The mind is a kind of, see, mind practically, the real mind is driven by the physiology, because the perception occurs about the sensation. We do not perceive the external world directly. We may think that we are perceiving the external world, but what we perceive is the sensation as a response of the sensory inputs of the external world. Try and understand, like the external world enters through the sensory inputs, that the physical domain, the five senses, then the sensation happens within, and we perceive this sensation. We don't perceive the external world directly, in actual sense. But the moment we start perceiving the things out of imagination, not actually, and we start believing in it, concluding, that time it's a very jeopardized loop that we start experiencing. And one important thing, like suppose Anshu was mentioning that, like having a stress for some time, then you may feel that you are relieved of the stress which is coming from the, so you're talking about the psychological stress here. This is very important piece. So for example, when you are obsessively eating or you are masturbating, that time you may think that obsessive eating also ends after certain time, like the normal eating ends. Obsessive eating also ends after some time, and masturbation also is ended for the spell, for the particular spell. So I'm relieved from the energy depletion. It's a superstition. It's another assumption. I'm not relieved unless I inquire into it. It is just a momentary stoppage of it. And in the bargain, I develop a knack of forming sensation out of perception. So that particular action might stop for some time, but I have developed a knack of forming sensation without a question. So unless I question my perception, the tentativity never occurs. I always keep on concluding the things because I have already developed it. I have enjoyed that concretization of the perception, which happens in the physiological domain, sensation level. That's the conclusion. What is this conclusion? Perception cannot be concluded because it is a formless thing. What is the conclusion that you can make? The conclusion happens at the physiology because it is the form, it is the chemical. So whenever there is a sensation out of a perception, then only the conclusion happens. Conclusion cannot happen only in the perception. Are you able to comprehend, or is it getting complicated? Complicated, Deepa?
S-
Yeah, Shilpi.
so, so the perception is leading to sensation
Yeah, I'm leading the
in
perception to
this.
sensation, and the indication is the
Um,
conclusion.
Indication is the conclusion which is coming from my sensation.
Yes, the sensation in terms of liking and disliking in miniature or gross, subtle or
Yeah.
gross. Yes.
If one, so I just want to go further into questioning on it. I
Yes.
feel that I wonder if one, if I mean, if one wonder, like, I'm not able to think what will one question, why am I,
There's no checklist.
because there is no, no, I'm just thinking, there's no checklist, but
Yeah.
maybe I question that there is no five sense connection here.
So
Why am I getting it?
basically, it's not about what question. It is about the way you look at it. That's what is the observation. It's a synonymous to observation. Observation is a questioning mind. Observation is a reflection of a questioning mind, which never concludes, but keeps on inquiring the things. So it's about the questioning knack. It's not about the questions in particular.
So when we are observing, that's also questioning,
Yes,
is what you're saying.
observation means there are subtle questions and arrays of questions that is occurring, because you never conclude. In observation, there cannot be a conclusion. If you are concluding, then you are not observing. And we
So
understand
when
by
I
now
keep
what is the
observing,
yes,
yeah, so when I keep observing,
yes.
would the sensation not get formed?
See, there is no guarantee of not forming of sensation, but there will be instantaneous dissolution of the sensation. And this instant is very important to understand. This word instant that we often speak about, that the suffering goes instantly. It is not about a particular moment. It's about instantaneous dissolving of suffering. What is the meaning of instantaneous? That the question that you asked, that will there not be any sensation? There's no guarantee. There may not be any sensation, but if there is a sensation, instantaneous dissolution happens when you are in that observing mode, when you are in that inquiring mode.
Because the conclusion has not happened, it
Yes.
doesn't stay.
Yes. So suppose a momentary conclusion is occurring, which happens many times, a momentary conclusion, but you are questioning that whatever is being concluded at this moment, it is not the final. Then that sensation dissolved. The attachment with that momentary conclusion is dissolved.
Yes. Fine. So observation is the questioning.
Yes.
When I'm going on observing it,
Yes.
I may realize various things, realize also, not realize as a conclusion,
Yes.
but I keep on realizing
Keep on realizing.
various things about it, and yeah, fine.
Right. So we have around 4 minutes for this session. Next session we'll understand some portion of education technology. So we were actually trying to understand the exclusive relationship and exclusivity of a relationship. Exclusive relationship and exclusivity of a relationship. Now see, when we look at the relationship as a whole. Nandini, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning. I was not feeling too bright, so I said
Cough and cold?
I had a bit of a healing crisis the other afternoon and still a little heavy in the throat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, exclusive relationship and exclusivity of relationship. So quickly, I'll just cover and so that you guys can reflect upon in the next session. So
We can also continue it
yeah, we can.
in the
Yeah.
next session.
So relationship as a whole, it cannot have any special attachment. If it is having a special attachment, then the relationship is not experienced in life. Because relationship is a wholesome, it's love with every entities of the universe that we understand, and we keep on discussing about that. Then the question comes that what about the current relationship which looks like exclusive to us, like the relationship with the parents, relationship with the kids or the partners, all these things, what are these, right? So are these just illusion? Now, so if we are in love in general, then we have abundance of energy within us because there is no attachment in it, you know. So now with that abundant of energy, wherever we are physically present, we connect very passionately. That's the real passion, not a special passion we are talking about. Very passionately, we connect with the surrounding, whatsoever and whosoever are there. So physically, we are in proximity of a surrounding, and that leads us to connect with the proximity intensely, passionately. And that becomes the exclusive relationship. When there is a physical presence of the entities around, whatsoever and whosoever. So there will be an experience of exclusive relationship, partnership.
Sorry, I missed. You said, and that becomes something.
That becomes your exclusive relationship. That becomes your exclusive relationship for that moment because of the physical proximity that you have.
So you
have a
mean
physical-
one-on-one?
Yes, every entities around you, whatsoever, whosoever. Because you are an entity with passion, with lot of energy. So the connection will be very strong. So I think this going to be end. So let's rejoin and continue immediately.